Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamster's Hobby Hang. So it's North Star. Just gotta get one of my crappy pallets. I keep telling myself one of these days I'll be good about cleaning these things out. I don't think that's actually true. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. uh, for a while I had some like biodegradable ones that were disposable. These ones are not that. So if I'm in this bad habit still, I should probably get those again instead of these. These are just kind of regular plastic ones. I could just throw them in some isopropyl, but I haven't. I haven't. I have so many of these that look like this just all over my desk. Have not tossed them. Haven't wasted them. I just need to throw them in a bath of some solvent. And I actually haven't not played Stargrave. This pre-order came with like a bunch of cool models, cool metal models, and the book. Have not gotten around to playing it. Yeah, what is this efficiency? I know. It hardly counts because I should really have it primed before the show, but hey, minute one, and I started late, so but I appreciate the positive outlook and the encouragement. Dolly. Dolly's at my feet. My doggy, because her mama is out and it's just me, so she's kind of needy. She's in a pile of dirty laundry that she dug out. It counts? Okay, well thank you. This is a new record then. That would be my table ready stage? Yes, it is the night lizard. Yes. Black as night. Nearly invisible. Not even fully opaque over the metal. Hey. Whatever gets it on the table. Obsidian Hunter, there you go. See, there's a way to justify it, absolutely. Honestly, painting this like some kind of stone would be cool. The Obsidian Hunter. Could exaggerate like that rainbow effect or something over black. I don't know how I would do that, just layering, but I'll give it a try. One of my fave dry brushing brushes died on me the past week. It has been serving me well for 5 years? Holy smokes. I don't think a dry brush lasts me 5 weeks. Good on you, taking good care of it. Especially with dry brushing. That primer's gonna take a second to dry, so I guess I'll throw something on this guy that is primed already. Some of these little paints might be getting low on me. quite gentle with my brushes and I'm too cheap to buy new ones often, but since I got it before pandemic was a thing, I'm quite happy with how long it has lasted. That is extremely impressive to me. Most of my work is just done with extremely cheap brushes that I don't feel too bad about tossing. This like 144 count of a bunch of rounds is like $28 or something on Amazon. But if you can take good care of it, you don't have to toss them. I'm also bad about washing my brushes, except my expensive natural hair ones I wash more, but... I'll tell you what, Nate and I are extremely excited for Age of Sigmar 4th edition. The hype is absolutely wild. They're slowly trickling out rules this week. By the end of the week, by tomorrow... Wait, did mine come out today or did they come out tomorrow? Anyway, by the end of the week, they'll all be out. And Nate and I are going to play our first game of the edition on Tuesday, I think, after work. Should be fun. I had a evil water droplet just attack my paint here. That happens sometimes. It's just hiding on the side of the brush. Hello, Azed. Welcome. Good evening. Hey, Amy. Let's see. This is just a little raider guy, and I wish I used to remember the company it's from. It's like a really small company I found. But I forget. Which I'm really bummed about. But I think I bought these for like a Escape from Tarkov inspired, like, solo war game. Solo co-op type situation. Where you're trying to like go into a scenario where there's like other raiders and you're all trying to loot stuff in like a post-apocalypse type thing and then extract. And then this is a little guy that I primed that is for Stargrave from North Star Figures. And I bought it for the pre-order like years ago now. And I've had all of these are from like a stash on this beside my desk of a ton of sci-fi figures that I like glued to bases for a sci-fi and didn't get to paint. But we had plenty of miniatures to shoot for that, so it was fine, but yeah, just start slow and follow your inspiration, and whatever you feel enthusiasm to paint is what you should paint, and stick with that. Like I have one of my best friends is painting his first miniature, and it's like a fairly large dragon. He's like, I don't know if I should start with something smaller. I'm like, you are pumped for this miniature? You're running a game that you want to play it in? Like, this is the perfect miniature because you're going to be motivated to keep working on it. And it's like, it's great scales on the sculpt so like you can dry brush it easily, it turns out. So even though it's larger than this, it's like still a pretty good starter mini. But I was like, yeah, don't like put yourself in a box just yet when you're starting. Just like do what you're gonna be excited to paint, because that's what's gonna continue to make you continue to practice, right? All right, have a great night. Thank you for stopping in. Hey, Commerce, how you doing? We're cruising. This is just the mini I was picking at while this dries. Kind of fun too is like, this is a pretty big brush. I'm just doing this whole thing with this. If you can get control of the tip a little bit, it's not even that great of a tip, just using the perpendicular angles to your advantage. Not too shabby. And it's a pretty forgiving model anyway, because it's kind of ragtag, right? A little raggedy. Let's get a little reflectiveness on some of this. It doesn't have to be like pristine metal, but something that's bouncing light. Little scratch. 20 minutes cleaning? That's me. My apartment is due for a deep clean. A little reflectiveness in the back too, not bad. Little visor reflection. Alright, I think I'm doing the base and calling it pretty good here. Gonna It's textured, but I'm gonna model it after sci-fi. Anyway, just so it kind of fits. Maybe even let some of this get on the boots. A contractor did outlets, did it cheap? That stinks. Smells of onion, garlic, and orange. Very aromatic. Accidental science. This one's a little dustier. And maybe later I'll throw a little tuft on there or something, but looks pretty good. There we go, less than an hour. Get a decent table mini done. Some nice special effects and stuff. Gonna add just a touch more to this thing. Little Raider. Visor sticks out as a nice accent. Otherwise pretty grungy. Probably darker in general than I usually go. I could maybe highlight some more, but I don't think we have to for this. There's a nice poppy accent on the face and it looks gritty. Some nice little details that'll stick out from table view with the reflections. I'm fine with that. Maybe Chris and I will play some more 5 parsecs from home or something with that. It's a good little, could be an enemy, could be a mercenary for the player squad. So right now in my D&D group, we're not playing D&D, we're playing a system from like 2000 or something called Icons, which is a superhero system. And that's been fun. It was gonna be, we finished out the arc that I mentioned to you where my DM's custom setting blew up after like 12 years of playing it. So in between that and I think Pathfinder will play, we were gonna just do like a really small little arc in the superhero game, and now it's been like 10 sessions as it goes, right? Because it's been really fun. But it's kind of like, basically there's like the main superhero squad of like kind of like a Night City, New York, like cyberpunk or something. Much deeper than that, a lot more thought put into it than that, but that's kind of what you can imagine. And there's like the main superheroes that you would see on like the posters, and we are the cadets, like the new recruits, like kind of like a lot of teens, a lot of like used to be wrestlers need like, and we're like gang mercenaries on the side type people, and they were recruited by all these different heroes to like be trained into the next main superhero force. So we're like newbies basically. And what happened was what started it was we were called to like this campus that was just built to like train new recruits and house like the heroes safely, and one of the main heroes gets murdered, so it's like a superhero murder mystery, um, which is cool. And it's throwing it back to like another superhero arc that we did that wasn't like that, but the same factions were around, like sort of like the private police basically that sort of govern this area, turns out, are back. So that's been fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. And my DM like loves superheroes too, so like it's really interesting. Um and my thing is like my sort of mentor that recruited me is actually my dad. And his hero is like, he doesn't have powers. He just is like a handy tech guy, or like not even, yeah, tech, but like I have become like computer savvy, and he's into like DIY like handy tech type stuff, where he literally has a YouTube channel of like DIY heroics of like make these devices and stuff. And he's kind of a dork, and I'm kind of like, ugh, dad. And I'm like learning, kind of being under his wing to like respect him, you know, more, instead of kind of like rolling my eyes in like teen angst. And the hook also is, it was just discovered, I just discovered that I also have powers. I have one power, which like doesn't run in my family or anything. And so now I have to like reveal to my dad that I have a power, because basically when I rolled up the character, I kind of had this idea, but then I rolled a power, a superpower on the table. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So maybe that's like a latent thing. And it just came out, and sort of like, you know, the classic like emotional moment where like, ah, I'm so frustrated, and like power happens. Yeah, so it's been fun. And then eventually we'll go into Pathfinder. I also just got this book, just for fun. Dragonbane, just like the monster manual for it, because my favorite illustrator did the cover. I have two prints right above me on the wall, and he has like a Lord of the Rings set paperbacks that he did the covers. And I was just looking for stuff that has like creature art. I don't know, I found it pretty cheap on Amazon. So the cover illustrator that I love is Johan Egerkrans, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the interior illustrator with all the creature art is David Brascala, who I also enjoy his style. So yeah. But I'm reading like some of the... Oh, this book too is Dragons by Johan. Just like a bunch of illustrations with like descriptions, like these are from like Japanese culture, and these are from like, you know, all these different backgrounds. But it's making me kind of, looking at that Dragonbane, I was kind of like, well, I have this book, I might as well grab like the other one core book and like maybe have that to play at some point. I don't know. Oh, for y'all long-time hobby hangers too, I've broken... I have gone back to some old ways that I thought I had rid myself of after a years-long streak. Because here's the thing. My girlfriend has this air fryer, which I've never used before until recently. Drink paint water? No, I still do that all the time. No, I don't drink it, but I do lick my brush. That's never changed. That's never gone away. But I've been putting cauliflower in it. I've been putting whatever else, chickpeas in it. But at the grocery store, in the frozen section, a box caught my eye. Box I haven't paid attention to in a couple years at this point. And on the front of it, it said, try it in the air fryer. And that was a box of Hot Pockets. So, for the first time in multiple years at this point, I got Hot Pockets. Pizza rolls would be awesome in the air fryer also, now that you mention it. Oh god, now I'm opening a whole door. I'm going back to my summer when I was 14 and Halo 3 was the hotness and I survived off pizza rolls. Air fried Hot Pockets. Seem kind of terrible. Here's the thing. They're like evenly cooked. There's no cold spots. Mainly because it will take longer than 2 minutes. That is a huge thing. That is a huge thing. Because if you're cracking open Hot Pockets, I don't know if I'm that picky where toss them in for a few minutes. It did take like 18 minutes or something, which is a long time to get Hot Pockets at the end, right? But I will say the result was miles better than the microwave. I think I'm kind of with you where I'm still not sure it's worth it for the wait when you're already at the point where you're going for Hot Pockets. If it's not 1,000 degrees on the outside and icy in the middle, you're not getting the Hot Pocket experience. That's true. That's like a trademark classic, experience. But I had to try it out. I was like, I guess it's time to break the fast, the Hot Pocket fast. They had a better like crunch kind of on the outside, where it wasn't like super like almost that like soggy softness of like the frozen moisture getting cooked out of it that kind of happens sometimes. It had a little crisp to the outside, which was nice. The ice really adds texture. That's the crunch I'm usually expecting, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. So anyway, I may have bought an additional box that's still in the freezer. I can't eat as many as I did previously back in the day. It was an obscene amount. But I did have a few. What is it, Dolly? She's perking up at something. Probably nothing. She's a cutie. Give me a brief moment. Can we use the restroom? BRB? Market. Hello. I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Dolly, come on back. Alright. Thank you, thank you. The Obsidian Hunter. Never really done obsidian, but I'm gonna try, I don't know, try something. No, I know it was a joke, but then I was like, wait a minute, that would maybe be cool. It was a great joke, and then also a great idea. Definitely. Alright, let's see. Maybe we should do a little more of that, of take some votes at the beginning to inspire the paint job. might be kind of fun, especially on a creature like this that could kind of be anything, you know? Already looks kind of cool. It's gonna be a little dark on the table. We're gonna go into like that pink realm anyway though, so it'll probably help. I need to leave behind some black. Can't go too wild on this. But I like how it's looking so far. Jamie Daggers. Haven't heard of that painter. 4-color challenge where Chet chooses 4 paint colors and she paints it using only those paints and blends them. Yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like it could be something like that, but maybe we come up with like some kind of hook that's narrative or that's thematic like this, like an effect, and then kind of come up with the colors from based on something like that. I don't know. We can play it by ear. Maybe it's like mini dependent also, you know. Yeah, definitely. Pre-order the new Zelda Switch Lite, not the best monetary investment. That Switch is fun though. I honestly haven't finished the new Zelda games. I don't know why. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I honestly really enjoyed the Link's Awakening remake. Of all things. I don't know if you can hear Dolly. She's huffing at something back there. This is already looking pretty cool. Still want to go brighter just for tabletop view, but also like kind of that glossiness to it. Pokemon Snap. Is Pokemon Snap on the Switch now? Did they remake it? Or is it like that subscription, like old catalog? Is it on that? It's a little hard to see on camera, but it's looking kind of cool. Just keep highlighting. What are you huffing at? Hey, you. Here we go. This is where it will start to pop. We can maybe even do one more at this. Just want to be really selective so it stays black looking. We just keep some of that black. No. Stop. Come on now, it's hobby hang. Sorry if that's loud in the microphone. She barks every time the elevator dings right outside the door, because once a day, that's when Mom comes home. So every single time she gets excited. Not loud, although we can hear her? Okay. As long as it's not blowing out your ears for some reason. I didn't think it would, because I kind of have some compression and stuff, but... Alright, now this is starting to pop, but still feel like that dark stone. It's cool. Very cool idea. I like how this is turning out. And not terribly time consuming. Kind of a fun scheme. So I think I almost am gonna go white, like a reflection on the topmost points here. And I hope it works. Just doing little tiny dots, light taps. Yeah, I mean, I dig that. A little too big, I think. There we go. I like this a lot. I'm glad it inspired me to try something new and go for it. Getting a little more confident, adding some more reflections, especially on, like, even if an area is dark, a corner might still catch a tiny reflection. It's kind of a cool effect. Yeah, now it's starting to really pop. But it still reads as dark, which is nice, I think. Yeah, I mean, again, I might just throw some paint on the base and call that. Maybe I can exaggerate the highlights on the face a little more. Just to get the focus on that. Make sure the shape is kind of readable. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I kind of smeared a little white glaze action so it looks extra reflective. Has that kind of marbly, but just on the face. It's subtle, but it kind of reads. Alright. This is very fun. Thank you for making that joke. And pretty fast. That's what's nice about a creature like this, where, like, whatever scheme you pick, it's kind of all over, and you can vary it. Do, you know, patterns or whatever, but it's kind of fun to do creatures, because with something that's, like, even fictionally like organic, you can get away with a lot, right? You can kind of be messy and do creative things. So I'm glad I didn't just kind of do like a sand shrew like thing or something, you know, like I'm glad we did something that kind of out of the box. Yeah, now this looks like a creature where like if you're on like a rocky planet or something, it would just kind of blend in until, you know, you walk past it and sort of like creaks and slithers out. And you're like looking behind, like, and it's kind of like, and you just look, huh? What was that? Huh? Huh? And then it pops out in this pose, like, rawr! But then, of course, because it's all cute, it ends up being, you learn that it's actually friendly. And it was just scared, but then you both calm down and you're like, wait, we're friends now. And it joins your party and it goes on adventures with you and licks your face, you know? You can see the whole thing. I can see the whole plot right here. Just letting this dry. Shouldn't be too long. They always join the party. All adventuring groups like pets. Absolutely. How could you not? Right, Dolly? You're biased because you are a pet. This New York City superhero game we're doing got me reminded me of a book that my friend recommended to me. I started using the library recently, which is very exciting because I don't have a lot of space here, so like buying physical books is hard for the space, and like I've been using the Kindle app, but it's more fun to read a physical book, I think, than like on my phone. So I started using the library because the Brooklyn Library has like a really good catalog, turns out. So I'm reading this book called The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, and it is like a challenge to wrap my head around because the concept is so like cerebral, but it's basically like cities are living beings that have like avatars. So it's set in New York City, and these people are like all of a sudden in tune as like an avatar of the city, which is like basically a creature being born, and there's like some malevolent eldritch power that's like trying to stop the city from being born. But these people are the city. It's so it's like I'm like 2/3 of the way through it, and like it's one of those things where I'm still kind of trying to like learn the rules of the fantasy, but it's an interesting challenge and it's fun, especially because I live here and I've been around the boroughs and stuff, and it's like there's an avatar for each borough that's like Avengers assembling to try to like unite. You've read other books by her? Yeah, I just picked up the 5th season, which is the first book in another like different trilogy of hers. Yeah, so I'm trying to read more and go to the library, get out of the house. Alright, this looks like it's pretty well dry. I've read the 5th season. I have the other 2, haven't read them yet. I've also read a couple of her short stories from How Long Till Black Future Month. Yeah, and that I want to read all that stuff because I'm liking this a lot. I think she's from Brooklyn, which is cool as well. Yeah, so the library has a bunch of that stuff, so I'm gonna slowly kind of get through that. I rarely like paint stuff without. Oh no. Got paint on the foot. Should be fine. What's fun about this effect is like we could just paint a small patch black and it would be fine. I usually have like something on the base for texture. But it's kind of an interesting challenge to make something interesting without it. I kind of screwed up this wet blending, but we'll make it work. And it's kind of nice for the sci-fi because, it's fairly flat paneling, on the terrain, so. For a lot of my table models, kind of been a fan of exaggerating almost like a front spotlight, like back to front on the base. I don't know why. Just another place to put a subtle gradient for a little visual impact. This ended up with a lot of moisture on it, so I gotta let that sit. I like how that turned out a lot. way cooler than I expected it to be when I first started, before we had the obsidian idea. This view maybe could still use some more highlights. On the table you rarely see it, but I think part of it is that bottom lip kind of had these missing entirely, so fix that. Just exaggerate this sort of front view. Focus the head even more. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. Now sort of like the trading card view is a little better. And this is still drying. Alright. Got too much water in there. I like how the face and head has the most highlights. So it's like kind of like a mono scheme. Still really interesting, but it still has a little bit of a focus pull. This is why I normally have a hairdryer. Say, anyone playing the Elden Ring DLC right now? I am loving it. Such cool areas. And bosses. Extremely challenging. Give them that. People aren't wrong about that. But, you know, it was made for taking your max level, not max level, but high level character into it. So, I'm still enjoying it. I'll tell you what, I don't know why. I really don't know why. I have yet to launch Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just like waiting for a certain time. I was busy. I've had the early access for years. Even before launch. Haven't launched it. I don't know. One of these days I will. Alright, let's see. Oh, I bet. I mean, it looks amazing. That's kind of almost why it's like in my head. It's like I gotta make sure I'm not like too distracted and like I really stick it out and like give it its due. This one ended up a little weird, but it's fine. It's in the back. Nearly done constructing my new paint area. Nice. Finally done cooking dinner. I'm looking forward to dinner myself in just a few minutes. But we got 2 minis done, start to finish. Can you believe that? On a hobby hang? I don't know. I was kind of just feeling sort of chill. Just sort of relaxed into it pretty quickly, I guess. So, I'm glad. Glad we got some work done. Look at that. Not a bad hobby hang. Are we allowed to do that, Mary? Hamster, are you even allowed to finish one? That's cool. I am very excited about this critter. Very happy that we did that. Fun effect. Does he have eyes? What color should his eyes be? Red? Is that too, like, evil? Like a bright blue? Like a warmer blue, maybe? So it's not fully, like, off of the scheme? I think I'll try that. Begin slow clap. Yeah, I was thinking yellow too, but maybe that's... Like, I kind of want to lean into almost the monochrome thing going on. It's not exactly monochrome, but, you know. Mono cool. Dolly's snoring on the laundry pile right at my feet. Yellow was my first instinct too. I kind of think I'm liking this. Gonna end up almost white anyway. There we go. All right. Cool. Well, let's see. Next week is the 17th and 18th. So it looks like my schedule is open, so unless something comes up, there should be a hobby hang. Dungeons, you know, alt scheme production is going pretty well, so I should have time to do it, I think. But of course, keep up on the Discord for the announcement on the day for both On the Anvil and Hobby Hang if something does change. But I think I'll be in this chair with you next Thursday. So thank you again for hanging with me tonight. Thank you for the obsidian idea. 2 minis done. Hobby Hang record. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. We will see you next week, and have a great evening.